Hi, welcome to Ranger Garage. I'm glad you found our channel. On this channel, you're going to learn a lot about vehicle maintenance. We're going to show the everyday person how to work on classic vehicles, modern day vehicles, things that you can do yourself instead of paying, hundreds and thousands of dollars, hundreds and or thousands of dollars to mechanics and other shops. We'll teach you some customization, some modernization stuff. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about the work that we've done, maybe it wasn't clear, feel free to email us at rangergarage@gmail.com. Hope you enjoy. Hi, welcome back to Ranger Garage. Today we're going to work on a couple of items, but the first thing we're going to work on is our tailgate assembly. The first thing we have to do on that is, at least on our project, is we have to finish coating our spare tire rack. A lot of people take these and powder coat them. Some people will use like a chassis paint. What we're going to do is we have already hit it with a rust reformer, which you've seen us use here on Ranger Garage before, and then we are going to be hitting it with bed liner. It's the same Duplicolor bed liner that we put in the bed of the Bronco. The only exception here is this is a spray version. We've never used their spray version before, but we're going to give that a shot. So we're going to spray that down and give it a good, nice coat. Then we are going to do a test fit on the back of the Bronco, because what we're going to have to do is fabricate the connection that connects to the tailgate, where the hinge comes and connects to it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is where the spare tire rack mounts here, and it swings back and forth, and then swings over, and then latches right here. The problem is this piece right here is what's missing. We're gonna have to fabricate a latch so that when this arm swings this way, it'll connect. So it's gonna be fun. Okay, so now we're gonna spray this tire rack, or the spare tire rack that we got for the Bronco. We're using this Duplicolor armored bed liner. And basically it says you apply it the same way you do for paint. So we shook it for a minute. Then we're going to apply 3 to 4 light coats with 20-minute breaks in between each coat. And we'll see how that works. So we're going to give it a shot. I've never used this material before. So let's find out how it works. Seems to go on pretty thick. It says shake it for 10 seconds after every minute of use. All right. The next thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get the other side of it without screwing it up. Okay, we'll set this back for drying. Okay, so we'll let it dry for about 20 minutes and we'll come back and hit it again. I'm going to now put the second coat on and we'll see how that turns out. We'll just settle up over here so you guys can get a good look. Let's shake the can. Start from the top again and work the same way we did last time. putting it a little heavier. I don't know what that's gonna do, but that's what I'm gonna try. All right, we're gonna try to lift here. Don't get shake. Now we'll try to set this down without making too much of a mess. And we'll let that dry for another 20 minutes. We're gonna put our third coat on. This will probably be our final coat, but we'll see how it looks when we're done. I'm not gonna make you watch the whole thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. We're gonna apply it in the same process that we did the other two coats. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. It's got kind of a rough coating to it. It's not as rough as, say, the bed liner inside the Bronco, but it does have some texture to it, which I think is good. We'll just hopefully it'll be sturdy and tough enough. Okay, now that we've finished painting our tire rack, the next thing we have to do, as I've explained to you before, is fabricate the mount that has to go on the edge of the on the back of the tailgate. To do that, I have purchased a steel plate that you can see right here, steel plate, and I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to bang with my mallet the end piece and create a little bit of a curve to it so it wraps around the tailgate. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. But first I'm going to cut the piece and then we will bang it into place. All right, thanks. So I've got my angle grinder. And I'm going to cut it right along here. And when I'm done, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, I have finished cutting my piece here. And now I'm going to bang the end to where it will wrap around this area here, because there's a slight curve to it. So I'm going to bang that in and you'll take a look. We are going to take this mallet and this steel plate, and I'm wearing my protective goggles just in case, and hold it down. I got a 2x4 here with it, and we'll just do this. Okay, now that I have cut the metal and I have bent it so that we can get the right shape along here, now I'm going to use I've switched over from a cutoff wheel on my angle grinder to the actual grinder, and I'm going to grind down the edges, kind of smooth it out a bit prior to drilling the holes, prior to painting. Hi, next thing I have to do is put together a template. I'm trying to get people to see this. Yeah, put together a template using a piece of paper, and I'm going to rub it almost like a rubbing to find out where the holes are, so I can then place it on the steel and get ready to drill it out. And I'll hopefully be able to show you what this looks like. I'm going to place it here, and then going to rub using a pencil, kind of like we did with the kids with the crayon, the material, the texture underneath. And then I'll have a template that I can lay on top of the steel to drill out the holes. I can't really hold the camera and show you at the same time, but I will do the rubbing and then I'll show you what it looks like prior to me putting it on the steel. That's what I came up with, and that is the pattern. Now I will lay it on the steel, just like this. And I will mark it and then cut it out. So I have determined where the holes need to go based on the curve that hits the tailgate. But before I decide left or right, I want to mount the tailgate to see, because there's going to be a bracket that's going to be fastened to this. And so I need to make sure that I line up the base plate to where I get the best access to put that latch on. Okay, I have put the tailgate back on, or the temporarily put it in place. All I did was just put in the new bolts that I got. I'm gonna have to paint those up. But the reason I did that is because I need to size up where this bracket needs to go to lock the tire rack into place. If you remember the steel that we cut already, I need to drill some holes into that, but then I'm also gonna have to get an elbow or a 90-degree angle to put another piece on to come out here so I can notch it for this. Simple process. It's just going to take time, so I've got to run to the store and pick up a angle. So now we're moving on to fabricating that bracket for the tire rack. I just got back from Lowe's and I picked up some angle iron, or angle steel, I guess if you will. So picked this up, and I've already measured this out. And I'll show you. I've already measured out right here. I'm going to cut it, and then I am going to place it on this plate here so that I can then get my distance from the truck bed tailgate to the actual rack, and I'll show you what that is. But the first thing is I'm going to cut this, and then I'll place everything into order, and you'll see what it is. And I'm using my angle iron cutoff wheel to do it. So I did not show you the actual drilling part, but I'm going to show you what I did. I've already drilled the plate here, and I have basically test fitted it on here. I drilled a pilot hole through each one of these after I laid the template over it. And I drilled through pilot hole through the template on all three of those, and then I took the paper off and then drilled the larger holes. And then I've bolted these down. Next, I am going to do the measurements for the angle iron, or the angle piece here, of where that needs to go on here, so that it'll line up with the tire rack as it comes forward. So we'll take care of that. Okay, so I think this may work. I think you'll be able to see what I'm doing here, I hope. So I'm going to take this and swing it around. And what I'm checking is to see where this lines up with this rack. And then I'm going to take this and see where it lines up. And it looks like this is going to be just fine. So I'm going to drill these holes in the angle piece, and then I'm going to bracket that on here. And then I'll be able to get my measurement for the piece that sticks out. So that actually looks like it lined up quite nicely. So I'll cut that, and I'll drill that, and I'll put it on, and I'm gonna drill it the exact same way I just did the other one. I'll put it on and I'll show you what it looks like. So there's the bracket. Okay. So it's bolted on here, and now I've got to put the other piece that comes right out here, and to do that I'm going to use that. Okay, I've got the arm bracket cut out, so that's the piece. We'll have to notch this out. This goes down, and then it'll drop back down into another piece.